Hello everybody, it's your boy and here I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. As you can see the Wall Crasher leaderboard, I am within the top 10 players, and let me show you how I've done it, what I use on my Serena, because it's definitely not what you lot are expecting. So yeah, let's get right on into today's video. So for the Wall Crasher, I did show in the intro, I'm going to give you the build, I'm going to give you everything, and I'm going to show you exactly it is what you are going to want to do. Starting off with the modules. For the red module for Serena, we're going with Heim immediately. For our grappling module, we are going with mid-air maneuvering. So you can use this for your third ability, so on and so forth. I'm sure you know how Serena works by now. For your actual modules, you're going to want to go with HP amplification, as well as increased HP. So we have plenty of HP to boost Serena, because of course her fourth ability scales based off that. Next up, we're going to go with shot focus for our actual damage on the weapon. This is going to be very important because of course, you know, more firearm attack, more damage, better output. So that's what we are going to be going with. Next up, we're going with maximize conservation for Serena, because we want to be maintaining the flight with her third ability. So to push this even further, we are using multi-talented. I'm sure you know how it works right now. You use the dimension ability and then you use her fourth. Her fourth literally is dimension. So if you just straight up jump and use her fourth, or just use her 3 and then her 4, you'll have basically better cooldown than you will with everything else. So it loops, you can keep spamming it. Next up, we are going to go with MP conversion, again for cooldown. And then we are also going to go with maximize duration, because of course we want our fourth ability to last as long as it can when we are using it. Next up, we are also going to finish up and use nimble fingers for cooldown, along with skill extension for more duration, and just to finish it off, we're going to use strong mentality. Now this build here is not my own. The rightful owners of the build, Shizzle, Chen and Margin, are in the description. Top link, make sure to check them out. They are great top tier players at this game. Now this bit onwards is where I turn it into my own setup. So what we are going to do here now is we're going to go for the trigger module. With the trigger module, we are going to sort by name because the filtering system on this is absolute trash. We're going to go with Kuiper hollow points. In testing this, I was getting absolutely ridiculous, well, not ridiculous, but better damage when I was using this trigger mod with my Serena. So this is what we are going to be going with. Next up, let's talk about the other parts of the setup for this build. Now let's have a look at the reactor. With the reactor, I'm sure you know by now, reactor doesn't really matter with Serena. In this instance, we just want cooldown duration up or skill cost duration up. In this instance, cooldown was preferred, so go with the cooldown. For the weapon, you'll notice that it says sniper rifle mounting. This is absolutely incorrect. For our weapons, we're going to go with 3 specific weapons, and I'm going to give you a showcase and a reason for every single one of them. Number 1 is going to be the Excava. I know you might be confused, but just bear with me with this one. The second weapon is going to be the Enduring a Legacy. Now again, I know you're probably confused, but bear with me. The third and significantly more traditional weapon is going to be the Ancient Knight. We'll come back to these weapons a little bit later. Next up, let's have a look at the external components. For the external components, we are going to be going with two pieces. We're going to be going with 2 pieces of Ascending Armory for Serena. The main things you want on here is of course max HP, MP recovery out of combat, and MP recovery in combat. And for the external component cores on this, you want 2 pieces of max HP and 2 pieces of defense on both of them. Next up, the other 2 pieces of Serena you are going to want to go for is going to be Shell Crusher. Now with Shell Crusher, you basically want the same stuff. You want to go with max shield, shield recovery modifier, or toxic resistance. And for here, for the memory, you want MP recovery modifier as your main thing, and electric resistance. Same stats on the cores, 2 pieces of HP and 2 pieces of defense. And this one has max shield on it. I'm using the wrong one. There you go, max HP. That's what you are going to want with Serena. Now let's quickly have a look at her tree, and then we will have a look at her weapons. For Serena's arcade tuning tree, the tree is, well, you know, completely what you'd expect. You're going to want to go with some HP over here. Next from here, you're going to want to go across to the enhanced weak point damage. And then from here, you're going to want to go up to the Colossi. And we're going to stop over there. And we're going to go left over here. And we're going to go all the way up to weak point damage over there. Then we're going to go down and we're going to take this all the way to the bottom and go across there. We're going to grab that over there. And we are also going to grab all of the enhanced ones over here, and you're basically good to go. This is the tree that you would want to be using, or alternatively you could put that there, but it is better if you put the multi-hit enhancement chance. So this is the arcade tuning tree specifically you are going to want to be going with. For the inversions with this, it's fairly simple. It's number 1 going to be strike point for multi-hit and for weak point damage. Next up, number 2 is going to be this firearm control mechanism. This is again pretty simple for the multi-hit. Now the last thing for your weapon setup is going to be the element on your attribute firearm thing. If you're using the Ancient Knight, use fire rounds. If you're using the Excava, use electric rounds. Basically as simple as that. Next up, let's have a look at the weapons in depth. Now the Excava, this is what you are going to want to run. I will show you gameplay of it, of course, and I will show you why, and just show you that it is clearly the best weapon with Serena as of right now. These are the substats and the cores that you are going to want to go with for Serena. Now with this, you would want to make your build look like this. Ideally, you want to copy the exact build, and this is the setup you would want to go with. It's a complete multi-hit setup, and you just scale this and you go crazy with this. So this is exactly what you want to do with Serena. So here is some gameplay of myself using the Excava. I'll give you guys a quick rundown of it. The same way you use any Serena, you cast your 4th ability and then you basically just start, you know, dashing from side to side, just locking on the weak points and stuff like that. At this point, I'd been live for about 17-ish hours, so forgive me because my brain was absolutely fried. The subathon is literally draining the life out of me, but this is essentially how you would play Serena, the same as you play everything else. The Excava does basically the same damage, if not slightly more, than the Ancient Knight does. So I personally do use the Excava over the Ancient Knight. However, I like to present you guys with all the options just so you can, you know, have a little bit of a mess around and see which it is you actually prefer the most. So in this instance, I'm going to be using the Excava. Now I didn't record my best run with the Excava, but in my other run I did end up getting around about 1.4 or 1.3 billion damage in a 1-minute run, so I didn't record my side of it. However, one of my friends, Kana, did indeed record his side of it. So as soon as I'm done with this clip over here, I will show you the other side of it, which is Kana's perspective. Again, shout out to my boy, thank you for grabbing the clip for me, because, you know, skill issue on my part and I suck for not recording. But yeah, you can see in general, this is about what you'd expect out of a Serena / Excava gameplay regardless. And at the end of this run, you will see my damage, and then I will let the clip of my friend play out instead. There you go, you can see my damage here isn't too bad, 1.5 billion in a minute and a half. As for the gameplay provided by Kana, this is basically his perspective for it. I know the aspect ratio might look a little bit different, and you know, the graphic settings look a little bit different, but just bear with it. Gameplay is gameplay. But over here he plays basically the same way as me, and in this run he does end up outdoing me by a few 100k, or sorry, a few 100 mil. But just in general, you can see having it on lock and focusing on the knees, I think with the Excava specifically, is a little bit easier. It's easier to keep an eye on him because it's you know, he moves his legs less, his shoulders move a little bit more, especially when he rotates. So I would suggest keeping your eye on his knees, or maybe his chest, because you can keep an eye on his heart that way as well. But this is essentially what you would do. Now I'll let the rest of the clip play out, and then yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. I'll give you guys the other sides of the weapons and everything as well, because they're very back and forth. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna go now. Time for me to stop yapping. The Ancient Knight is a Serena specific weapon, so if you want to use this, these are your cores and these are your substats. For your actual modules on here, this is what you are going to want to go with. Basically, multi-hit setup for the Wall Crasher is absolutely the right call, so this is what you are going to want to go with. With multi-hit on here, even expand magazine or expand weapon charge for basically, you know, stacking up and spraying for a bit longer, is what you would want on the weapon. You want to jump over here, do your multi-talented, hit them with your 3, activate your wings, hit them with your 1, and then you just want to spray with your AK and just absolutely melt his weak points. Basically that's it. As soon as you are out of ammo, you just want to recycle it, or just keep pressing your 3, dashing from side to side, and you just want to make sure you've got your 4th ability on whenever it's running a little bit low. That's it. You just want to dash side to side, avoid everything that Wall Crasher tries to do, and just keep spraying into your Wall Crasher. Easy as that. Aiming at weak points is going to be the best thing to do, so you know you want to make sure you are doing that, and for the most part you should be good. Avoiding the purple balls is going to be pretty good for you as well. Make sure to do some of that. Aiming at his heart is a good weak point as well. This can stop this phase if you smash his heart, so you want to make sure you do that. There you go, just stop that phase. I'm taking way too much damage in this guy right now, so just going to be a little bit more careful. You just want to keep melting him the way we are doing over here, and yeah, that's basically it. Even when he's down, just shoot his weak points and they will still take damage. A weak point is still a weak point even if you don't see the part on the weak point. But yeah, over here you can see this going crazy. MP is not really an issue either, even though we are running low, it's not going to be an actual problem. RK leak is just way too efficient, and yeah, that's the simple DPS with Serena, easy as it can get. You'd want to jump and grab your drops if we got any. Drops are not real, they are a thing of my imagination. In a 1 minute 20 Wall Crasher, I got 1.5 billion damage, so you can tell I was doing a fairly solid job. Now the Enduring Legacy. The substats on here don't really matter as much, but you definitely want multi-hit chance and multi-hit damage and weak point damage of firearm attack, fire rate up here, and you know, you can see the rest. The purple one doesn't really matter, but the build on the Legacy does look like this as well. So let's go on over why we are specifically using the Enduring Legacy. With the Enduring Legacy, if you look over in the journal, you will see that when you do use this weapon, it has a unique ability that applies quenching to the target. This does not make the Wall Crasher hungry and make him want to drink water. This will instead debuff him even harder to fire. If there's 7 Serenas or just even 3 Serenas or 2 Serenas in your squad, having 1 Serena using an Enduring Legacy to debuff the Wall Crasher even further to fire, which is Serena's specialty, is going to be the right thing. For the Wall Crasher, you want to be using fire as your element for this weapon. So Enduring Legacy, you build for fire, Ancient Knight, you build for fire, and the Excava, you stick to the electricity, which is basically the main thing. Now, like I mentioned, the Legacy is here for the debuff. Along with defense neutralization, additional fire debuffs with the Legacy are basically the best way to deal damage with the Wall Crasher. Now you can see here we're in a squad of 8 Serenas. Oh, this is going to be a dream. Let's go in with it. Okay, so I'm going straight in with that first ability. We've got the defense neutralization already kicking, and you can see here I'm debuffing him as well. We're going all in with the damage, and we're just melting him, absolutely melting him. You just want to make sure to aim at the weak points, of course, because you know Serena plus weak points equals absolutely melt. Over here you can see here we're just going all in. Everyone is doing ridiculous levels of damage. 30 seconds in and we've almost killed the man. And yeah, this is essentially what you expect out of Serena gameplay. Want to make sure to activate that 4th ability again for additional damage, and boom. A 40-second Wall Crasher, and at the end of this run, let me show you guys my damage real quick, because I was using nothing but an Enduring Legacy. Over here, view stats. 200 million damage. Definitely not the highest level of damage, but you use this when you debuff. It's the trade-off that you make. You basically use the Enduring Legacy to debuff. Serena is definitely not the strongest with the Legacy, but 1 Serena out of here for an additional debuff is a worthwhile trade-off in my opinion.